Hello there, Cubanus here, and today I'm gonna be trying to explain how to make a special rig for the, let's say, pipes. So what we're gonna do is obviously create the actual mesh. We're gonna create a simple cylinder. I'm gonna go ahead and rotate it at 90 degrees, like this. I'm gonna make it longer, like 3. And I'm gonna make it less wide, like a quarter, like this, 0.25. So here I have this little pipe. I'm gonna add loop cuts, let's say 24, like this. So here I have a little pipe. I'm gonna call it pipe. Next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna create a curve, specifically a path. So we're gonna create a path. It's gonna make us like this straight little line. So what we're gonna do, we can delete these. We don't need them just yet. So we're gonna go ahead, press Shift S, cursor deselected, and make sure we have median point selected here. So it would be putting it in the center of all of these vertices. We're gonna go ahead, go to the path, put this selection to cursor, and it will snap our little point to here. We're gonna do the same for the other side. Cursor to selected. Gonna go ahead, snap this to cursor, and we have a straight line. Next, we're gonna go ahead and subdivide it. Let's say 3. So we have like 3 points here. And I think that's it. Actually, we could do something else as well. Make sure we have endpoint selected here, and we have order, let's say 3. I said like 3 or 4. It yields a better result that way. If we have many control points, then it will make like this. You can see the yellow lines, but you can also see the little thin black line. That's our kind of smooth one. And if I'm gonna set it to 4, you can see it smooths out over more lines, over more points, so it becomes smoother. If you're gonna set it to 2, I'm guessing it's directly just following the curve exactly, so it doesn't smooth out very well. But yeah, I'm gonna keep it like this. Next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna create an armature. And this bone, we're gonna go ahead and select the other side, cursor to selected. Go ahead, go to armature, select this point, and selection the cursor. So here we have this big bone. So this one is going to control, this is gonna be our actual deformation kind of bone. This is gonna be our bone chain. A chain of bones for our spline to control. So what we want to do is we want to subdivide it. So I recommend, since we have made 24 loop cuts, we can set it to 24, but I recommend just keeping some kind of normal density here. I know how many loop cuts we have, so I can just set the bones quite easily. But don't worry, you don't have to count those loop cuts, and those are going to be our actual deformation bones. We, I think, can immediately go ahead and bind it to, like our pipe, to these bones with automatic weights. Sure, X mirror. And now what we should have is a pipe that can, as you can see, bend like this. Bends very poorly. It's very annoying. We want to kind of simplify this control, and that's what we are going to do. So we're gonna go ahead, go to spline curve, wireframe, and we're gonna select this one, this point, the base for us, the base of our little pipe. So we're gonna go ahead, cursor to selected, and what we're gonna do is we're going to go into armature, go ahead and create a new bone, and we're gonna call it the root. You could call it the pipe root because we have like all of these bones here that I forgot to rename. It's not critical, but I'm gonna call it the, I'm gonna call it the pipe root. And next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead, make sure we have this bone selected, control click on our curve EK. We have this little point selected, and we can press Control H and hook to selected object bone. So that's gonna bind our, that's gonna hook our point right here to this bone. So we can now go ahead, go into pose mode, and in theory, as you can see, here I have this little line, and that's actually our curve. That's our path. So I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go ahead and exit the object mode. I'm gonna go into curve. We're gonna select the next point. Cursor to selected. Go into the armature. Create a new bone. I'm gonna make this one smaller because this is gonna be our control bone. So I'm gonna make it tiny, and I'm gonna name it pipe.control, or just con for short. And we're gonna select it, control click, and we can hook it to select object bone. And so we proceed to do that with the other points. So we select the next point, which is right here. Cursor to selected. Go into armature. We can just duplicate this one and selection to cursor. It will snap the base of the bone to here. So we're gonna go ahead, make sure this one is selected. Control click, Control H. We bind it. Select the next one. Selection, cursor to selection selected. On here, duplicate, selection there. Make sure this one is selected. Go to here, Control H. We bind it. And select the next one. So it's a bit tedious, but it's not that bad. I guess it depends on how many control points you have, but I'm assuming you can make an automatic script for it. I just haven't yet. So we're gonna go ahead and go here, Control H, and we're gonna bind it. I hope I didn't bind it twice. No. So here you can see a bunch of hooks. That's exactly what we have done. We have made a bunch of hooks to all of these, as you can see, armature to these bones. Now we're gonna go ahead, go here into armature. We're gonna select all of these bones, and we're gonna make sure they don't have deform, so it wouldn't mess everything up. And we're gonna bind these bones, or like parent these bones to here, to our root. Control P, keep offset. And so here we have this. So now we can move, and as you can see, our curve right here is actually moving along with these bones. We can control them. They all look nice and controllable, I guess. But yeah, now we're gonna go ahead and go here. Select this last bone in the chain. And we're gonna go ahead, add bone constraint, Spline IK, curve EK, and we're gonna set it to 23. What? Or 25, I guess. I'm gonna enable even divisions. And I think I just use whatever. You can play around with these. I don't know what they do. But as you can see, they kind of switched directions when we did that. So I enable, and they kind of change direction. That's not supposed to happen. We're gonna go into the curve. I'm gonna go ahead, select all of the nodes, and I'm gonna switch direction. So now I'm gonna go here. As you can see, all of our bones are now nice and correct. This is important because otherwise this root node wouldn't work. Like this one and this one would be swapped. Now we can go ahead and move this. It moves all together. So we can do this. We can move around and blah, blah, blah. And now we can also do this. So as you can see, we can deform our little pipe, and we can like make it kind of snake around and such. If we're gonna go ahead and go here, like preserve volume, this doesn't matter that much. I can apply like corrective smooth, for example, and it's gonna look like this. And then we can shade auto smooth, and we kind of like right here, looking pretty good. And also it, as you can see, it like doesn't try to fit the length of the curve to like the object, so I can actually just control it. It doesn't deform the rest of the thing, and it all like snakes around pretty nice and good. Also important thing, just to make things pretty, you should bind this thing to the armature. So I'm gonna select it, Control P, and just object. There we go. So now I can scale it up, down, whatever. I can rotate the entire armature, and it's gonna behave nicely because we have the curve EK right inside, and it's inheriting all the scalings and modifications. Now if you want to make the curve smoother and such, you can go ahead, press tab, select one of the points and set the order to like 4, and it's basically gonna make it nicer and smoother, like a smoother curve, and it's gonna look a little bit nicer. If you have more control points, you could set it to like 5, and it's gonna be even smoother. So if you want to like prettify the armature itself, I mean, you can like add some kind of UV sphere. You can go ahead and delete this, and then we could go ahead and delete these. And then we can go ahead and Shift D, rotate it around the 3D cursor, so it's gonna be like nice and even and such. Go ahead, duplicate that, and just rotate it again. Go ahead and duplicate that and rotate it again. And then we can go ahead and clean up, merge by distance. So it's going to be nice and clean. So here I have this like little thing. We can call it R sphere, R for like rig. And then we can apply it to the armature. We can select these bones. And we can go ahead and viewport display, custom object, R sphere. As you can see, they're a little bit big. We can make them smaller, maybe not that small. And then we can make them, for example, red. And we can hide all of these. I'm just gonna press H, but ideally you're just gonna create like collection, assign them to this collection, remove them from this collection, call it like arm, and hide it, and there we go, and you'll have like control. And this one will also have some cool, you know, whatever, like blue or something. And there we go. You have your nice rig. It all looks very cool. Your transform, as you can see, it it actually fits perfectly the cylinder in terms of size. And also, if you want to hide this object, you can always just unlink it. So it's still gonna be existing in the project itself. It's just gonna clean up your workplace, and you're not gonna have like a bunch of objects like these hanging around. But yeah, there we go. This is a nice little rig. You can play with it. I think I'm gonna actually send you the link to this little thing that I made, so you can just copy it, play around with it, try to animate it, whatever. Just, you know, do whatever you want. I'm gonna do this just to make sure. There we go. See you.